Hi Virgo, and welcome to your past life and soul contracts tarot reading. We're going to pull some dice and look at the karmic energies and soulmates from this past lifetime that are also present with you in this life journey, as well as a few other things. So let's see. All right, you have 3 karmic energies coming in, and this could be karmic debts that you have to pay and settle this lifetime, and it can come through experiences or relationships. And this doesn't mean this is like the only karmic debts that you have to pay, but these are the 3 most significant in your life journey at this time, and it's attached to the past life that's going to come through. And now here we have soulmates. And there's 2 soulmates here. So 2 people from the last life that's going to come through in this reading are now sharing this life journey with you. So you guys have ties from past life. And so these people are very significant to you. You're going to connect to them in a different way. Their energy is just going to feel quite familiar. And, you know, with the soulmate, it doesn't mean you guys never fight and you never have challenges. It just means that you guys will always find a way to overcome and evolve and grow beyond them. Soulmates typically are around in our life, you know, for most of our days, and some of those relationships start as one thing and then transition into another. So there are 2 very strong soulmates that are walking this life journey with you that are attached to the past life that's coming through. And now for the heart chakra, you have a 5 coming through, which tells me this life journey, there are 5 different people that you are really going to have deep feelings for, that you are going to believe that you love. However, if you see right here in the middle, the 1 dot, there's going to be one that stands out above all the others, and that's your true love. So there are definitely 5 significant romances that will transpire in this life journey. And, you know, this coming through, you had romantic dealings with this person last lifetime as well. Okay, and now for the crown chakra, your soul lessons that you're working on this lifetime is 4. So there are 4 soul lessons that you intend to achieve and evolve into this life journey, and your spirit guides help to ensure that that happens. So let's get right into your reading and start with the past life energy, and we'll also pull cards for your soul contracts and your karmics and all that as well. Okay, so we have the sacral portal, creativity, intimacy, and inhibition. All right, so Virgo, this being the card that represents you as your primary energy for past life, many of you were assumed the form of the divine feminine. Okay, not all of you, obviously, but that is a very feminine energy. Many of you were quite creative artists. You had some natural ability or talent, a gift, skilled at something, and I feel for many of you that was your career path. So if you're very artsy and creative, you're really into music this lifetime, it's because of this previous lifetime and what you were doing then. You were very creative, very sensitive, and I feel like you were very attractive, and you pulled a lot of people into your energy. You had a lot of suitors, whether you were a male or a female. All right, let's pull some more cards. Okay, so we have the seashore coming through. You definitely lived on or near a beach. You're probably very attracted to the tropics, tropical places, tropical environments. If you live somewhere that's kind of dry and cold, you might feel like you were born in the wrong environment. Okay, you definitely had a connection to the beach. You lived right upon it or very near it. It was a big part of your life. So you may have even lived on an island, you know, like Hawaii or something like that. Next out is India, Southeast Asia. Okay, so we have a location. This is where you spent a lot of your time. Now, this doesn't have to mean that you were born Indian. It could mean that you traveled there. Maybe you ended up settling there. You were very interested in the culture, the teachings, the religion, all of that of India. But, or you could have been born there, or you could have married somebody with this culture, but this was a huge focus. So you were also with this, I feel religious, but maybe Buddhist or Hindu is what I feel. It's more of a spiritual energy. It doesn't feel like the restriction of a lot of other religions. This feels more soulful and free, like you were a very free spirit this last life journey. And finally, we have Central Asia, Tibet. All right, so you got Asia coming through really strongly in your reading. So high probability, you know, that you were Indian or Asian of some descent, or maybe even a combination of both, just depending. And that was a huge focus. So this life journey, you may find that you're very interested in the traditions, the different Asian traditions, the Indian traditions here, and you're just drawn into it and you don't know why. Well, here's why: because you lived in this area, you had deep ties to this area this last lifetime that's coming through. And again, you were very creative and this beautiful, free flowing spirit of light. I absolutely adore the energy I feel from you of this last life journey. Let's pull some more cards. So we have food and hunger, spouse, and farm. All right. I love this because with the spouse coming through, this one love of your life this lifetime, that was the love of your life last lifetime, and that's even confirmed further with the farm card for me. So that's a beautiful love story you and the spirit create for your life journeys. It's just, oh, it's so gorgeous. And with food and hunger coming through, you definitely experienced periods of poverty, of lack, of not having enough, to the point of not having enough to eat and nourish yourself. And that could play into this life. You could have, you know, some sensitivities around food. And, you know, an example is like when I was young, there was never enough food in the house. And as an adult, every time I would go grocery shopping, I had to like show my boyfriend, look at all this food, look at what I bought. And he's like, this is not exciting. And it didn't dawn on me that it was energy from childhood. And for you guys, anything like that around food, it comes from your past lifetime, because you did go through periods where there just wasn't enough to sustain. There wasn't enough resources, there wasn't enough food. And over here with the farm, you know, I see you as being a creative, an artist, a very free spirit. I think your family is rural and may have had a farm, or like grew some sort of crop, you know. And it's just at the timing of this, there wasn't like a lot of resources for anybody in your family. It wasn't just like you had this suffering, it's a family thing. But the one thing that was perfect and beautiful and right in this lifetime was this spouse, was this beautiful marriage, and you guys weathered many storms. And just as the dice says, you know, for this life journey, last life journey, you had many suitors, but only one person really stole your heart, and it's right here. So let's pull some tarot and go deeper into these energies. Well, because of the card that jumped out, I do know that the oppression that you suffered last lifetime, you are not meant to suffer it this lifetime. Doesn't mean you'll never go through hard times, but it's like you'll never go through what you went through here, because the Wheel of Fortune jumped out on this side, and this is like the magic when the wheel is turning in your favor. On this side is when you are on the bottom of the wheel and you're feeling the restriction. So this is what this life journey is meant to be, because of the oppression that you suffered in the previous life journey. So we have the Devil, and the King coming out, the King of Cups under the seashore, and the food and hunger. So a lot of what this like poverty that you suffered had to do with maybe the head of the family, like as a child, being very frivolous with money, not taking care of things, not being very responsible, and that could have caused this for you. Or some of you, wherever this was, there could have been some like rulership, dictatorship over the people, and that's what caused these periods of drought for you guys with the King coming through. And over here on spouse, we have the Death card, and we have the Five of Cups. So Virgo, with this, what I feel is your spouse transitioned before you did, last life journey, and you never ever got over your spouse. You never dated again. You never loved again, even though there's, people who are interested. You didn't. This was the love of your life. And after they transitioned, you had no interest. And, you promised each other that you would find each other again. And you find each other in this life. On the farm, I do feel like this was a family affair, and you were learning the business, the trade of what your family did with the Eight of Pentacles. And now we have the Hierophant, and we have that like rulership, that dictatorship coming in as well. So the poverty that you and your family experienced had a lot to do with where you lived and who was in control of the people. And you guys always made it through, but you guys definitely went through a lot of periods of lack and of hunger and having to push through. And that may be why your husband, wife transitioned before you did, because of these severe periods of drought that were at the hand of somebody who was like in control of the people. All right, let's pull a few more cards, and then we'll get into the soul contracts and the karmic relationships. All right, so the Healer, negative ties, and personal mission. So you were a natural healer. This could have been that you were a nurse or a doctor, a medicine woman, a medicine man, a holistic healer, Reiki energy. There was just something about you that was very healing. And through the times of drought and of struggle, you really helped keep the family together in a positive way. You worked really hard to make sure everybody was okay and taken care of above yourself. And then here with the spouse, we have these negative ties. So again, the rulership over the people could be the negative tie in which caused, your spouse to transition before you, or there could have been, some other kind of treacherous energies that came in. And, we won't really touch on that too much, but I definitely know they transitioned before you, and it was due to circumstances like by somebody else's hand, and the choices that they made. And then lastly, here we have the personal mission. And I'm telling you, once your spouse transitioned, you really became super spiritual, and you didn't have an interest in, any sort of romance, and you may have really distanced yourself from friends and from family, and you went in and you had a profound period of spiritual growth and evolution, and you are a very wise soul this life journey because of that. And some of you who have already met and aligned with this soulmate from last lifetime, there may be these underlying fears and concerns of I will lose you, and it's because of this energy of what your story was last life journey. So let's get right in and look at, these three karmic energies, these three karmic debts that have to be paid this life journey, and how that's going to play out in your life. All right, so we have gaslighting, ghosting, ulterior motives paired with the law of attraction, alchemy, energy, vibration. This right here is an energy where And remember, this is attached to last lifetime that just wasn't resolved before you transitioned. And the way energy works, you know, it's not a linear thing as we would perceive it. So with this, there was either a relationship or a situation where you were quite dishonest and you manipulated the energy, the person, for your benefit, for your favor. And, you know, this could have happened at any point. It doesn't give me a whole lot of reason as to what your motivation for this was, but, you know, with the law of attraction and the 7 of thoughts, I just feel it has to do, for some of you, with some manipulative energy that you may have demonstrated towards another person, trying to bend their will to suit your own needs, okay? And then for others of you, what I feel about this is after the loss of your spouse, you just kind of went into a really kind of dark place. Again, you were, you know, being very spiritual, but it's like your heart chakra just closed off, and there was a lot of unresolved negative shadow energy about the experience, like you never fully recovered from it. And so that energy is still a part of your soul as you come into this lifetime. And so you may have found there are certain situations where you always feel that you are getting left behind or forgotten, or this fear of, I'm going to lose this, I'm going to lose that. It's not that that is meant to play out for you. It's just you haven't fully healed this trauma to you from last lifetime. And you can do that by, you know, doing Reiki and meditations and grounding your energy and asking your spirit guides to really bring forth the information you need to see this energy through these eyes, this lifetime, this perception, this life journey, and resolve it. All right, next out we have the Bringer of Flames, exciting or sensual rendezvous. And 7 of Emotions, daydreams, indulgence, infatuation. Okay, you know, this manipulative energy, like I said, you had many suitors, and these first 2, I think you kind of played that to your advantage at times to, you know, get things here and there, and you broke some hearts, some of you, okay? Absolutely broke some hearts. And next we yeah, here we go. Another broken heart, Virgo. Third-party deception, deep sadness, and Bringer of Roses. A commitment is offered. So I have to say, Virgo, you were a little heartbreaker. Other than that message I got about some of you just really being unable to recover from the loss of your spouse, the rest, this is just like, you were a heartbreaker. You really were. You had so many suitors, a lot of people interested, but nobody really captured your heart and soul like the love of your life here. And so I do think that you played with some hearts and some minds, and then you know, got with this person and you walked a straight line with this person, and you were unable to resolve these karmic energies before you transitioned. And so now they play out in this life journey, most likely through your romantic relationships. And you do have 5 there. We have 3 showing up here. So we're going to look at those as well and see how they correlate. So you were definitely a heartbreaker, Virgo. You might even be a heartbreaker this lifetime too. Okay, 8 of Lessons. Yeah, some of you, this really is that message of after your spouse transitioned, your heart chakra like closed up and you were never able to fully heal that energy. And these other 2 here could be where you tried to, you know, move on and tried, but you just couldn't. So you were empty in these connections. Next is the activations totem. This right here, definitely going to replay out this lifetime, but again, it's to resolve, to wrap up this energy. And lastly, we have the 10 of Lessons. So this relationship in past lifetime was very painful to the other person on the other side of you, Virgo, and it's just like I said, some of you played with some hearts, and it was before this came into your life, and you played with some hearts. And now this life journey, I do feel this is going to be an incredibly intense karmic relationship that just goes through a lot of different things that are painful, but you grow and you evolve and you resolve so much energy through the process. So know that. All right, let's look at these soulmates. And I'm just trying to move the other cards that we're not using, but let's look at your soulmates now. And we had, how many did we had 2 come through really strong. And remember, these are people you shared life journey with last lifetime. All right, so celebration, roots, stability, and the Illuminaries, destiny, northern star, past life. And then the other is compromise, flow, harmony, opposites attract, with the 3 of flames, growth, patience, waiting. All right. These soulmates are very deep for you. You have 3 and 4 of flames, and then you have 2 major arcana. So these 2 relationships, and I don't feel that the soulmate, the twin flame, is coming through in these these 2 outlets. That's going to come through in the heart chakra. These 2, this is either like a family member or a friend, both of them, and they are very deep ties for you, maybe from the start of your life or come in early in your life. And this one right here, this is a connection that you could always count on. It's tried and true. It's very stable. It's strong. You felt like, you know, soulmates right from when you met, and, you know, again, this could be a friend, a family member, where you click, you just get each other. There's a sense of familiarity around them. And, you know, with here, past life, you shared a very similar connection in your previous life with each other. So this is a positive soulmate. And I don't see like a whole lot of like angry energy or life lessons to be gained from this soulmate. This is more of an anchor for you, a stability, something you can always count on and fall back on. This is a very true soulmate. And over here, this could be friend or family member. And again, this feels lifelong for me, for you guys. But with this one, you and this person butt heads quite frequently or quite often throughout your life journey with each other. And you guys are very opposite of each other, and that's why. But through that friction and that butting of heads, it stimulates and activates growth and life lessons that you both signed up for this life journey. So your contract with each other is really about awakening each other, and you'll go through ebb and flow and push and pull. But at the end of the day, this is a very true and solid connection as well. And no matter if we're angry at each other near or far, we never lose sight of that. So let's pull some cards to look a little deeper at the soul energy behind these 2 connections. All right, 7 of manifestations. This person is your rock, is the one person that you will always be able to count on no matter what through your life journey. They love you unconditionally at the soul. And last lifetime, very similar situation. Also, this person will help you through a lot of trials and tribulations in this life journey. And over here, we have the 6 of intuition. Yeah, you 2 really help awaken and activate and stimulate each other's souls into evolution and into growth. And so you will butt heads and have quite a bit of friction at times, but it's for your soul evolution, and that's confirmed here through the 6 of intuition. All right, let's get into these heart connections, all 5 of them. And I do believe the couple of those are the karmic energies, just because you were a little heartbreaker last lifetime, Virgo. I just see you as such a beautiful, big, vibrating, free soul. Just this spirit that everybody wanted to be around because your energy was just lovely. All right, so first out is a broken heart, missing you, remorse. So this, we're looking at heart connections. This is definitely somebody who intends, well, I shouldn't say intends, somebody who breaks your heart, one of these heart connections. Next is the novice, new emotion, new cycle, new path. So this particular romance, the reason why this one doesn't work out is this is a new soul, a new energy for you to experience on the earth plane. So another human soul, spirit that you haven't ever worked with before in any of your carnations. So it comes through as a romance this life journey. Next is the divine feminine of thoughts, honest, intelligent, talented. For many of you, this is speaking about an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and this is, you know, somebody. We're going to have to pull more cards on this energy, but this is somebody I feel that makes you want to be a better person in general just because of who they are. And now we have a Four of Emotions, habit, routine, ungrateful. So this is a romantic connection that just kind of fizzles out and fades away, and you both kind of lose interest in each other. And lastly, Eight of Thoughts, blinded, projections, restrictions. And this here is somebody that you really struggle with through your life at, you know, maybe for a long period, some of you shorter period, but this is probably somebody that you really feel confused. Is this the one? Is this who I'm supposed to be with? But there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of confusion that happens there. So I will tell you, out of these heart connections right here and right here are your karmics, okay? These stem from past lifetime, and the way energy plays out here is like you are on the opposite side than you were last lifetime. And remember, you broke some hearts, you played with some hearts and some minds, and so that's how you will experience these two connections. It's a balancing of karma, but there's also greater evolution at the soul through the experience. This is a new energy coming in, and that's why you guys don't really work out. You experience this romance because you're creating a foundation for future lifetimes. And again, this one fizzles out. So this to me feels most likely your true love, your soulmate right there. So let's pull some more cards. I mean, it could come through one of these, but I mean, this is the most positively aspected. So let's see. All right, so under a broken heart, we have the Ten of Roses. Under the novice, we have the spirit guide. Under the divine feminine of thoughts, we have karma. Under Four of Emotions, the divine masculine of flames. And lastly, down here, Seven of Roses, withering, incompatibility, and struggle. Okay, so this here is the one that is your soulmate, your true love, and we'll pull more cards specifically on this connection. Right here, this is somebody that you do very much love, but they break your heart. And I hate saying that, Virgo, but I would imagine, you know, all of those of you who are watching this reading, this is already played out in your life. You know, if you're like maybe 15, 16, 17, even 20, probably not so much, but I really don't have viewers that young, very, very, very few, if any at all. So I imagine you've all already balanced this karmic, this particular relationship. This is somebody who really breaks your heart, Virgo, and you bounce back from it because, again, it was just karmic issues, energies that had to be balanced out. And once they're balanced and you move through your healing period, you are perfectly okay and you're over this. Now with the novice, and you have the spirit guide coming out, this is a brand new spirit to you, and you both have a spirit guide overseeing this connection when it plays out to make sure the foundation is created and established for this life journey because of what's up ahead. And we'll go to this one last since this is the love soulmate. Over here with the Four of Emotions, And this is coming through strongly connected to a fire sign. And if they're not a fire sign, this is somebody who's just very charismatic, creative, intense, magnetic, a lot of fun, life of the party. But it's just like your guys' connection fizzles and fades out. It just, you obviously had a romance with this person last life journey, and maybe both of you to some degree felt like it wasn't fully fulfilled, and that's why you have a romance this life journey. But it's like it just kind of fizzles out. If anything, Virgo, you get bored and you leave the relationship. And then lastly, this is another one of those karmics, and this is somebody where you have a really strong connection with them, but again, it's like you're just never on the same page, and there's so much back and forth, and it goes on for such a period of time that I feel that's what really diminishes the love and connection between you. It's just the chaos and the drama, and both of you never seeming to be on the same page, and like, you know, the forces of nature coming in between to prevent your love, that type of energy. It's like it's just always something with this person, and nothing can ever really fully manifest or work out the way that you had hoped. And that's because this, again, it's just karmic energy that you're resolving from last life journey. And once it all fades and fizzles away, you again won't feel anything, you won't think anything about it, because you know you're over it. The karma is cleared, it's resolved and balanced. Okay, we'll come back to this one last, because this is the most important one. I just want to look at these four from a soul perspective. All right, so the Four of Intuition right here, this one is going to be a doozy for you, Virgo. This person might be the one that you think is your one and the love of your life, but it feels that way because you guys have some intense karma to resolve. So this here is like, initially you're very closed up and closed off to not being with this person, but again, it's a karmic. Right here we have the Eight of Intuition, and this is a relationship that you are ultimately going to be the one that walks away from, and it's just because you're not very fulfilled. You like this person, but you don't have the same kind of connection with them as you feel for some of these others. And right here we have the Soul. So the point of this relationship is really about soul evolution and growth, and you are going to learn a lot of different things and become interested in a lot of things that you wouldn't otherwise had you not connected with this person. So this relationship is really about an activation to your soul. And over here we have the Five of Intuition, which would be the Five of Cups in a standard tarot deck. So that tells you, you know, here we have Five of Cups, here we have Five of Cups. These are definitely the karmic romances that will come into your reality, and once they are resolved and balanced, again, you don't hurt and suffer over them. We're establishing an energetic foundation. You ultimately walk away from this person. I think you feel they're too immature for you. And over here, you guys just really open each other to a lot of different things. And it's like for you, you kind of fall out of love. The relationship goes stale and you walk away. All right, Virgo, let's get into this true love right here at the center. I love that it came out at the center. Beautiful. And doesn't mean this relationship won't be without its, you know, struggles, but definitely. And see, it's like this is the person that you are spiritually bound to, the person that like you should marry, and a very strong emphasis of air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius with these two cards. So we'll put that right there on the spouse, because they were your spouse in your last life journey, and we know that they transitioned before you did. So let's look at this life journey. And we will not be pulling in information about who transitions before who for this life journey. All right, so we have the divine feminine of emotions, authentic, deep, empathic. Got some water energy coming in now, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Next is solo journey, dark night, reflection, soul searching. That would be the card that represents you. Now we have spirit, divine intervention, a spiritual evaluation. Next out is messenger of roses, invitation for building future plans. And lastly, we have illumination, restoration, revolutions, visions. So you legitimately have 3 major arcana and 2 court cards coming through as talking about, you know, the trajectory of this relationship, this life journey. This true love of yours, nobody else in this world will get you and understand you like them, and vice versa. And also through the journey of your romance together, there is so many activations and awakenings that you come into because of your love, because of everything that you guys go through and overcome, and just this person and the way they grow you and the way they know you and the way you connect to them. This is truly the greatest love of your life, invitation for building future plans. It's, you are committed, you get married, you live together, you know, and we do have dark night of the soul here, so this may be where some of you meet and have a separation and come back together. And if that's not the case, then what this is about is you guys don't come into union until you both have kind of went through dark night of the soul and really balanced out your karmic energies and purged, you know, the aspects of your being that no longer serve you and serve your purpose moving forward. So this union is very spiritual, higher vibrational of energy. And so again, some of you may have a separation, or you don't come into union until you both have gone through that experience, and you both are quite authentic and deep and empathic with each other in this love, in this romance, and you are each other's greatest teachers, and spirit will make sure that you two align in this life journey, no question. And this person is going to make you really want to be a better person, do the best that you possibly can, learn, grow, become more, and vice versa. So let's, woo! Those jumped right out of my hands. Thank goodness they didn't jump into the fire. Ooh, that was a little scary for my cards. Come over here. Right, so 7 of Flames, competition, jealousy, old flames. Virgo, you are a very attractive energy this lifetime as well. And it's like anybody who is with you, it's very easy for them to get jealous of others because your energy is just intoxicating this lifetime as well. And so there may be some insecurity and some jealousies in this connection initially. And now we have 4 of emotion coming out under the solo journey. And this to me again indicates that there's going to be a period of separation so that you both can evolve quite a bit, or you are going to be single for quite a while before you come into union with this person. Now we have the bringer of thoughts, apology, or facts and truth revealed. So those of you that have any sort of separation, when there's a reconciliation, it's going to be a very honest and authentic connection going forward. There is going to be no secrets, no treachery, no betrayal, no none of that. You know, once we get to this point, it's like you guys are brutally honest with each other. You read each other like a book. You can't lie if you try. Your souls are just so in sync with each other. And now under this messenger of roses, the invitation for building future plans, we have this 5 of emotions. So Virgo, you coming into union with this person is going to break some hearts. I'm not surprised to see that, but also with this 5 of emotions, this is for those of you who, you know, meet and then go into separation. Once you guys come back into union, you never feel that sort of sadness again, that depth and that degree of emotional pain of the separation from your true love here. And lastly, we have 2 of roses, distorted energy, pressure, scarcity coming out under illumination. And this to me is just like the old aspects of you and your true love falling away through this separation or dark night of the soul journey. And when you guys come back together, or you finally meet, it's like your souls in harmony make their own music. And where you felt confused, you come into clarity. This person really just changes your life, almost makes you feel as though they brought you to life through the connection and the love. So let's just pull a couple of soul cards here. Activations. Spirit guide, you guys have a spirit guide that oversees this love connection and makes sure it stays on point, on path for what you both agreed at a soul level to happen, to achieve this life journey. And yeah, this is like where you guys meet and break up and then come back together and you step through this portal and it's a whole different experience. Or you go through dark night of the soul and there's a long period of singlehood before you meet this person, and it's because you both are doing quite a bit of soul evolution, and then when you come together you step through this portal, and it's a very beautiful spiritually based relationship where falsities do not exist. You guys are authentic with each other. There are no lies, there are no secrets. And that might not have always been the case when you first got together, for those of you who broke up, but you overcome this energy. And lastly, yep, look at that, Phoenix rising, you overcome the energy. So whether you break up or you're just single for a quite long period of time before you come into union with this person, you are a brand new version of yourself. There's this awakening, this shedding of the old and expanding into the new when it comes to this soulmate, all right? So this is the love of your life, Virgo. Now, lastly, let's take a look at these two soul lessons that you are really working on hard this life journey. All right, so 7 of activations, 7 of intuition, and 6 of the manifestation. So this is 1 of the soul lessons, and then over here we have the 5 of intuition, 4 of manifestations, and the soul. Yeah, Virgo, you guys are definitely meant to have a dark night of the soul journey this lifetime, because you awaken and become something new. So right here, Virgo, this first soul lesson that you are working on, and you have more than 2 this lifetime, but these are the 2 strongest that you're working on at this time. And right now, this is about you being authentic and true to yourself, and realizing what's poison for you and what's not, because some things that you reach for will only hurt you, will only burn you, and you might not be listening to your intuition, your instincts, your insights around certain people and situations. So this life journey, that's one of your soul lessons, is to really tap into your intuition and have that guide you, because in that space you stay out of a lot of trouble, all right? And it aligns you to things that are good for you, relationships that are good for you. So it's not to say that you're not intuitive, but there is definitely a lesson here where you have got to listen to your heart and your soul more, and not like your desires of what you want, but your true intuition trying to guide you, because there is a lot that you reach for that is poison, that is treacherous, all right? And your spirit guides really want to help to lead you to your prosperity, to true connections that will love you, that will honor you, that will support you, because it's like, even if you know somebody isn't the greatest, you just have this unconditional unconditional love aspect to you, where you want to look beyond the bad, you want to see the best in them. And the reason that that's happening is because it's a soul lesson. It's okay to see the best in somebody, right here, but you've also got to see the worst in them as well. And here you are in the middle, very confused between the two, and that's one of your soul lessons this lifetime. So, you know, do some meditations to help better connect you in with your intuition. And some of you, you're already there, it's just your energy gets really out of balance, you get too caught up in your head. So quieting the mind, meditation, so that you can see the difference between what's bad for you, what's good for you. And you know, again, it's always wonderful to see the best in people and love them, but sometimes that is definitely a detriment to you and causes you much more harm than good. And over here, Virgo, this is dark night of the soul, and this is where we go through some emotional loss and some material loss so that we can transform into another version and being of ourself. And this is where you want to be. This is that free spirit energy of who you were last lifetime, but even more so, even more grown and expanded, okay? Because all you were last life journey is a part of that energy, and all that you are becoming this life journey is a part of that energy. And dark night of the soul takes place for you to really shed a lot of beliefs and patterns of behavior that don't serve you or no longer serve your journey, and you have to like transform into this version of yourself to align to that soulmate, because your soulmate will also be in this version, and it's a beautiful synergy of energies, and you guys are just in a different realm when it comes to experiencing and understanding each other. So dark night of the soul, that will deal with some emotional loss and some material loss, but you're only the better for it on the other side, okay? So Virgo, those are your past life messages and your soul contracts. I am sending you guys lots of love and light. Take care.